Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlicker, shills, debt slaves, serfs, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, Greeks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. Let's go to Greece and talk about this latest example of what it means to be a debt slave, particularly a country like Greece. They've been taken over by technocrats. Of course, they have Tsipras is in control of Greece now, but essentially the IMF and the World Bank and the Eurozone all basically control Greece now. And one example of that, of course, I did a video recently about the fire sale going on, all the public assets that are being sold. It's just amazing. Everything that's not nailed down, in fact, a lot of things that are nailed down, are being sold at breakneck pace all across Greece to try and get out of this thing. And they're going to continue to have problems with this because they have 300 billion euros in borrowed money, and their economy is on life support. Their country's on life support. Their entire welfare state is collapsing, and they continue to negotiate all these long years after the Greek debt crisis originally began. I'm losing track about how many years it's been now. But anyway, now we have this new Greece trying to strike a deal with a lower interest rate on this 300 billion they owe back in December 5th. But now on December 8th, Prime Minister Tsipras announced a special Christmas bonus on the poorest pensioners, the ones that make less than 800 euros a month. And so he wants to pass out 617 million euros, which, of course, when you borrow 300 billion euros, really doesn't seem like that much. And a nice gesture, a Christmas bonus to the poorest pensioners. And he also wants to delay the value-added tax for Greek islands bearing the brunt of the immigrant crisis. So these seem like reasonable requests. They've been under a lot of pressure for a lot of years. They have all these draconian austerity going on there. The people have really been suffering. And here's a little bit of a handout from the government. And the Eurozone reacted immediately and suspended the agreement for the next tranche of bailout money for short-term debt relief. It's just real tragedy. You know, like I say, this is a perfect example of how a country can lose their sovereignty in a banking crisis of all things, and a country become occupied, banker occupied as it were, and then drain dry. Because all the money, of course, the 300 billion euros that Greece has borrowed basically just goes back to its creditor, so it doesn't really even go to Greece and doesn't really do much for them. So no surprise that we have Obama visiting last November. And being booed. So the IMF actually wants to give Greece a little relief, surprisingly, but Germany's holding in line, but they have a lot on the line regarding Greece, so it doesn't make Germany look much better. But one of the other programs, too, that this is really heart-wrenching, of course, is that the Greek government wanted to give 11.5 million euros to extend free meals to 30,000 underprivileged children. And so the Germans and the banking community of Europe has said no to that and removed the cookie jar from Greece for just trying to help their suffering population get through the holiday season. So anyway, so there, like I say, you want to understand what debt slavery looks like. Look at Greece. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?